Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Tuesday, August 12th, and the market's a little bit flat there as we wait for the CPI this morning, but let's go through and see what's going on. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? And there we go. That's what our heat map looks like, and again, it is pretty flat right there. Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, Meta, and Amazon are just kind of hanging out. Tesla's up, Apple's down, and we'll go through and see exactly what's going on right here. Here's our SPY, and it's down a little bit. And again, this thing is just setting up for something right there. I can't tell you what it's setting up for, but it's ready to get blasting off. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Maybe we get a little bit of pullback as the CPI looks like it might have a July inflation report expected to show prices accelerated and the CPI on radar after U.S.-China rollover and U.S. stock futures drift as traders await CPI report. Why 6,500 can be launching pad for S&P 500. And CPI report today is inflation likely picked up in July. Intel stock rallies. And what did I tell you? That INTC, that was looking pretty good. And also, remember, we were talking about CRCL right here, and that's up this morning. So there you go on the earnings, and that's looking pretty good. So there you go with them, guys. Let's go ahead and go through our Jolie's jumpers and then our laptop lowdowns and see what's happening there. And then we'll go through the rest of the market. But them guys are just moving. And ANY right here, that one's jumping up. Sphere 3D right there, ANY. And that did jump up yesterday and then tried to run up a little bit today, just kind of hanging out. And ATNF, I know this one was running up there. Let's see what it was doing. I know it was yesterday, right? It was running up, and it was running up yesterday. It continued its way up there today, 605 to 662. It's at 4 something right now. So it did close yesterday at 517. So there you go at ATNF and BTAI. That was a great runner right there. And it's still cruising up, but it might be topping out. And that thing ran up quite a bit, BTAI. So we want to keep an eye on that one to pull back there. But that was a heck of a runner for us. And Chanson right here, we mentioned this last night. And that's starting to move up a little bit more today and was jumping up this morning. So there you go. It's SN right there. And like I said, it was cruising yesterday. It ran up some more today, 11 to 13. It's back at 9 right now, almost 9.5. So good old Chanson International is running up there. EQ, let's see, that was trying to move along as well, up 5 cents. It was moving yesterday, EQ, and it was jumping up today. It's just kind of hanging out there, opened at 93, jumped up a little bit. Now it's at 94, but yesterday it got up to 125 right there for Equilium, and that is EQ. And FGEN, let's see what FGEN is doing, Fibrogen, and that's cruising along this morning into the top. You might want to keep an eye on FGEN right there. That looks like it could continue that momentum, and there you go with that one. And GEVO, let me see what GEVO is up to this morning. GEVO, I saw it was way up, and it was running up. Was it running up yesterday? It was, and it got up to 220. Then this morning, 202 to, and then that was it. It gapped up at 202 and then started coming back down for GEVO. And let's see what's going on right here. Thoughts on GEVO right there, Nathan? You just saw that, and there you go with it. It did jump way up there. It's hitting that top area right there. And let's see. It's up at the moment, but it did spike up bigger yesterday. It ran to 220, and then this morning it was running around. It kind of gap. It closed at 208 yesterday, and then it opened at 202. So it just started coming down. It looks like it could be trying to pull back, and then it will get set back up like they all been doing. So there you go with that, Nathan. Good morning, Jason Goshman, Luis Rodriguez, and also Laptop Travel. Luis Rodriguez was up at 2 a.m. and was messaging him with Laptop Travel's pre-market insights are unrivaled and greatly appreciated. Absolutely. Yeah, Laptop Travel is a master at that morning and just knows the market very well. He's been doing it a long time, so definitely appreciate all of his insight all the time. And here we go, GEVO. And I don't know if that one's going to run up anymore, but Hoth right here is getting set up. Let it pull back, and we'll get that to set up right there. HOTH. And let's see. Yeah, just kind of pulling back to get set up right there. Didn't really ran up a tiny bit, but nothing too crazy. IXHL right here. That's another one we had been watching after that huge run up, and we'll wait for it to get set back up again. So we just have to wait for that one. NUVB right now. Let's look at that one pulling back, and that one does look like it's pulling back at the moment for NUVB. Let me see. Yeah, that was spiking up there. It looks like yesterday or 2 days ago. Well, I guess that was Friday. So that could have been just pulling back. RMBL. Let's see what RMBL is. Rumble on Inc. And this isn't looking bad. They just had some earnings on the 11th there yesterday. So it is trying to curl up. Let me look at RMBL right here. And it is trying to run up a little bit. It was running up yesterday. It's still sitting right there. That one could try to run up a little bit today. And good old Tilray and the cannabis stocks are running up, guys. And that is on good news from Trump talking about reclassifying, rescheduling it from 1 to 3, which would be pretty huge. So that would make the cannabis industry rock and roll. And remember what I was saying, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do it, because obviously it'll help his votes with the younger people, but also it also generates more income for the country too. So he's all about doing that and opening up the banking system for the cannabis industry, which it really needs. I've explained it before. And WOW, good old wide open West. Wow is a wower this morning. Went from the basement to the top. So there you go. And that is a wow. And that one could run a little bit higher. So keep your eye on WOW. And there you go with your Jolie's jumper. So thank you very much right there, Asian Jolie. And let's take a quick look at our laptop lowdowns. We have a few of them right here. And BINI is the old Mullen right there, Bollinger, and it's dipping down. And I wonder when they're going to do another reverse split, because look, it never even ran off of that reverse split right there from August 4th. And that company's insane. BIVI right there, BioVi. And this one's been way down trying to get curled up. It's almost getting ready right there. I have to keep my eye on BIVI. It's better than BINI right there. And CMMB, let's see what CMMB is doing. Chemomab. And that one's in the basement, just kind of pulling back at that time. And EDHL, we've been watching right here, down here, and we're waiting for it to get in a good spot. It was trying to get set up, and it's still down there. It did curl through the MACD, but just not moving yet. And it's we'll see if it wants to get cruising there. KMKR, KM, is that what that says? KMKR. Let me see if that comes up over here. I'm not familiar with that one. I don't even see that, but anyway, KUKE, that should come up as a music one right there. What is it? Hold on, let me bring that up. KUKE, and there you go, Kook Music Holdings, and that's a China one, and that's dipping down. That'll be a good opportunity, possibly. We'll watch that one this week and see if it tries to get set up. And how about Mural Oncology, and that is Mura, and that is dipping down and will get set up as well. And our Sky Builders, I think that's what this SKBL is, Sky Builder and Skyline Builder Group, and it's way down there, and that has to get set up. So there you go with your laptop lowdowns. And there are some really good lowdowns that will get set up. The market's just moving incredibly slow, and it's pretty flat right now. There's that wow right there, and it has jumped up and moving along. So not many big poppers this morning. HBI running up, and there's that GEVO that was running up there more or less yesterday. X4 had been setting up, XFOR, and that ASTS isn't looking too bad. That's AST Space Mobile right there. So there you go with them guys. Let's just see if there's anything else over here, and we'll go through and see what our SPY, Mag 7, and all them want to see. ORIS is back up a little bit. Chanson's not looking bad, and that ORIS, Oriental Rise, not looking bad right there to try to crawl back up and get out of the basement. It could really try to run. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And there's Archer right there in aerospace and defense. And that's way down this morning. And there's Wang and Lee that had been moving. BMNR trying to cruise along. It was way up yesterday and just a little bit of pullback right there, as you can see, but nothing crazy. And they do have the big Ethereum treasury. And there's Canopy Growth, and that's running up right there. And SBET's another one that had been setting up, not looking too bad. IXHL and Intel's looking pretty good, and we did like that yesterday. So there you go with them guys. And let's go ahead and see what our SPY, Mag 7, and big caps are doing. And then I will take a look and see what else is going on. But the markets are waiting on that core CPI right there. That's for sure. And here we go. Our SPY right now is still down a little bit, and look at how tight that channel's getting on that wedge up there. So interesting look for sure. So it could go any way. It could pop hard and it could dip down, and you have plenty of support down there. So it's definitely interesting SPY at the moment. And let's take a look at Apple, see what that's doing. It's down a little bit after it had run up real big coming out the top right there. So we'll see it retrace a little bit. And Amazon right there is trying to set up. It's just pulling back in that channel and has a little bit of time to set up as well. And there's Google, and that had been running up into the top, and now that's pulling back. So maybe we will see a little bit of pullback. And like I said, I don't think we're going to see corrections here, but I would say that we're going to see some pullback happening, and that is going into the end of August and possibly into the beginning of September. And then you're going to see this market get ripping, guys. And crypto's already been ripping. Microsoft right here, MSFT. And that is trying to hold itself up right there. And again, just making room on the chart as they pull back. So just watch them for some good price action. And here's NVIDIA right here. And that's also kind of just hitting the top and hanging out and should pull back a little bit. And Tesla, I believe Tesla was up a little bit this morning, and it was up still some more. And Tesla's looking pretty good as it sets up to run up a little bit higher. And let's go ahead and look at our AMC, because these things were setting up. It had earnings yesterday, had run up, then pulled back, hitting the MACD, trying to get set up. I'm telling you, these meme stocks may kick it off. GameStop not looking bad to set up, and that Chewy's not looking bad to get set up right there. And Chewy wants to run. Unity's trying to get set up and make a base right there. Look at all that room it made on the chart. And how about good old Netflix right there? And that thing wants to run up. It will slowly but surely get cruising. And AVGO, the semiconductors, are just sitting there at the top, and they look like they could go any which way. Look at that thing. This has earnings coming up in the beginning of September 4th right there. It almost looks like they want to pull back, but we've seen that look before, and then they just get curled up and ripping again. And MU just a little bit of pullback as it's setting up, so nothing crazy right there. How about TSM right here? That one's getting set up. So like I said, you just have a little setup period right here. SMCI, that one's trying to make a base down there, and it sure is trying to make a base. Not looking too bad. Luis Rodriguez, I'd agree. It could level down just a hair, but it's not going to go too far. You can see it has really good support down here at your 37. We're at 45. So just see what it wants to do as it sets up for the next couple, for the end of this week. And AMD right here, like I said, this thing's getting set up. It's just also a little bit of pullback. So they have a week or two. You can just see it on the chart to get set up. QCOM right here is not looking bad, and that's trying to crawl up. Keep an eye on that one right now. And good old Snow had been coming down. And let me see what it wants to do right here. It's up 50 cents. It has that support line that it built. And the 20's coming down. They have earnings coming up at the end of the month right there on August 27th. So let that guy set up as it pulls back a little bit. And again, they're making huge room, a lot of room on the charts, but not having a huge correction. So that is a beautiful thing right there. PayPal doing the same thing, just a little healthy pullback. And these guys, I'm telling you, are going to get wild. Intel we thought was looking good. It's up this morning. Some more curling up, looking nice right there. And how about your Dell right here, DELL? And that's just a little bit flat, not too bad at the moment. How about IBM? Because that's been pulling back. And just like I've been saying, be patient, let it pull back, and we'll catch that bottom. And Palantir's pulling back a little bit. It's still in the top, could roll back up, but we have to keep an eye on it. And Sophie right here is ripping along. It's over to 20. It could crawl up a little bit. I don't think it'll get over this resistance right there at about 23 something, 23.50 something. And we're at 22.42 right around. So that's what Sophie looks like. And again, I don't think it's going to go popping right there just yet. Mara right here is pulling back to set up, and so is Riot. But again, I just don't think these are going to be the best ones to get into the crypto miners. And Clean Spark down there. MicroStrategy should be looking pretty decent. It's down just a hair, but it's been getting set up right there, and it's not looking bad. It will get set up and run. And let's see what else is going on here, because Robinhood, Coinbase had been running up. Robinhood's all the way at the top right there, but pretty bullish trend. And Coinbase right here is getting set up. And again, it could bounce back to that 300 area in the next week or two. Why they get set up? Here is your bull, just a little bit flat right there. And SPCE right now, Space is trying to just hang out on that trend line. Looks like it could have bottomed out yesterday, so we'll watch that. Maybe a little more pullback. And Boeing right here is pulling back a little bit more, but it will get set up to run. So all of them have that interesting look. And DJT is just kind of pulling back slowly, making some room, and fun will get rolling when DJT does. So we'll keep an eye on them. And McDonald's right there is pulled back a little bit more and looks like it will go rolling off the MACD. So keep an eye on that. And here's your Disney up 10 cents. And that actually looks like it's trying to make a base. We'll see if it levels down at all. And Oxy right here is kind of just hanging out. It was getting set up, and it still is going to be getting set up, guys. So just keep an eye. Look at these things. I mean, you had that curl up, coming down. Your 20's coming to grab it, and you're going to get something happening. It does look like they're taking a little bit longer than you would think, and the charts are just running extremely slow right now. And there's your Exxon Mobil, another one going to get set up, just taking its time. Gush right there, same situation. Just let it pull back a little bit. And RBNE, that is just kind of hanging out right there and making a bottom, trying to get cruising up. That's trying to curl up right there. That TMDE wasn't looking too bad right here. Let's take a look at it. And it's just running flat on the MACD. It has been for a few days right there. So that's definitely interesting. And Nike's just kind of hanging out, but also pulling back a little bit. And there's our circle. That's way up this morning. We gave you that last night. It was also on the night note, MBLY. I'll keep an eye on that. That's getting set up right there. IONQ right here is pulling back. It had hit that resistance up there yesterday. And so now you're getting a little bit of pullback. And how about your Uber right here is pulling back a little bit, but that's also getting set up, looking good. And GRYP, that's going to be looking really good right there. PEW is getting set up as well and ready to run again. So keep your eye on that one. And let's see what Lily's doing right here. LL. Oh, what am I typing in? Keep hitting two letters. There's Lily Ellie right there. It's up a little bit, and it has some time to set up. It was running up yesterday, but we'll keep an eye on that. ASST, this one did look good, and that's down a little bit, but it was running up yesterday, spiked up a little bit more right there. And LMT right here, down a little bit for Lockheed Martin. And GIBO, hold on, let me see. GIBO. And let's see what's going on. It's still in the basement. It was starting to curl up there yesterday. Just a little bit flat like the rest of the market today, and that's what it looks like. And let's see what's going on, Nathan. And like I said, GEVO. Let's just look at it again. We did check it out right there. And it is up this morning, but again, it popped up yesterday, right? I forget what we even said. I thought it popped up yesterday, and then it started pulling back there, and it opened at 202. Right now, you're at 176. So we'll have to watch to see if it will bounce, but it doesn't appear like it wants to right now. And let's see. And the market's waiting on that core CPI, big one. SXC did have a big day yesterday there, Jason, and that was looking good, just a little bit flat there. We had picked that one out. That SunCoke Energy was looking pretty good yesterday or Sunday night going in. And Luis Rodriguez said he's disappointed in the AMC didn't pop after the earnings, closing out your calls at the open, hopefully for a slight gain. And yeah, I was actually surprised it's set up, but they're just taking their time, guys. I don't know. It's just setting up this market, and Laptop Travel said he's late because his dog ate his homework. It just made me laugh. That is a funny excuse when you're in school. You're like, "Oh, my dog ate my homework. I don't have it." But nowadays, it's all on a computer, so I don't know. Your dog would have to probably pee on your computer, and then it stopped working, and then you'd have a good excuse or something, or your dog ate your computer. But anyway, Fubo right here. Let's look at this one, FOBO, and that is Fubo TV. And that is just kind of pulling back a hair to get set up as well, just as the rest of the market. You can see it. So that one has a little bit of time, but it will get set up there. Laptop Travel. And good morning, Sam. Let's take a look at CELH. Isn't that Celius or something like that? Celius Holdings right here, and that is cruising up into the top, not looking too bad. I don't know how much more it's going to run up, Sam. It's already run up there pretty well, huh? I hope you were in that one down here. That was a good one. Looked like it bottomed, and then big spike right there, 43 to 53, ran up about $10 and kept on cruising up. So it is up about $10, $11 from that bottom area, and it isn't to the top. Could run some more right there, but I hope you were in it as it was going up, because I don't know, you could get some more play out of it at the top. We know they do like the run up there, but just be a little bit careful. The market's a little choppy right now, so you just got to be careful. And Eric Trump announced that American Bitcoin ABTC will debut on NASDAQ following a merger with Griffin Digital Mining and an acquisition of Bitcoin worth $23 million. So there you go. So thank you, Laptop Travel, for that. When's that taking place? You got to keep changing these around, because they keep changing them. Remember, we were looking at what, CLBR or something like that. Wasn't that it? CL something. I forget what the heck it was. But anyway, and then that became Pew, and now Pew's looking pretty good now. That Griffin right there looks like it's going to get rolling, but they're going to merge with this one and end up making it American Bitcoin. So like I said, this thing is getting set up right here, guys. It looks really good. And let's see, miners finally joined Bitcoin rally, and as an analyst, eyes 145K. And yeah, it's the Trump family's crypto company is going public right there on May 12th. Let's see what that said. And let me just see. I have to read this thing. And there's your operating H8 merging with Griffon. And so American Bitcoin, a new crypto mining operation started by Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and a data center operator, H8. And they'll be going public there in the third quarter of 2025. So there you go with that. And interesting right there. Yeah, so that's pretty wild and pretty crazy stuff, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, it's gonna be popping, so we're definitely gonna be keeping an eye on them. And whenever they get approval right there, that'll happen as well. And so they'll be cruising along in the crypto mining world, and they'll be good miners. And I think that's why Riot and Mara are probably going to take a fall, because the Trump family is going to be the big miners now. That's pretty wild. Anyway, pretty crazy stuff right there. What's that OST doing? Because that was looking pretty decent yesterday to try to start moving finally. So it was moving up a little bit flat right there. And let's see what else is going on. Anything else happening over here? Because not a whole lot happening. Just waiting on the CPI report, it looks like. And Doge Mama 9 just taking a look at the market and seeing what's going on. And there isn't a whole lot, to be honest with you. Let me just take a peek and see if there's anything trending over on StockTwits real quick. And that big bear did come down. Archer was down, Circles up, and ASTS Space Mobile's up. BTAI is up a little bit. And what's SE? I got an SE bike, but I don't think that's what this is. Let's see what SE is. I don't even know. CLTD, it's a Singapore company. That one doesn't look bad on them earnings. It's up this morning. SE, so check that out. That could run up a little bit more for us. So there you go with that one. And PSFE, that is, I do know that one. PaySafe, that's it. Couldn't think of the name of it, but they also have earnings coming up today, it looks like, and that's up a little bit, curling up, not looking bad right there. And how about good old VG right there, Venture Global? And let's see, that's an oil and gas one trying to get set up as well. And let me see, LQDA. That's a weird one. I don't know that one. Liquidia biotech company, and that's spiking up, and that looks like it could run some more. So keep an eye on LQDA right there. And there you go, guys. I would say that's a pretty good stock market review. Let's just take a quick look at our crypto. Bitcoin is at 118 right now, just pulling back just a hair. And again, just over the MACD, making a base right there. Ethereum was in the top. It's still in there. And see, it does look like it's trying to make a base to curl up to stay up. Solana had been pulling back a little bit. It looks like it's going to make a base as well right there, and then try to move back up with the 20. So that's what Solana looks like. And Ripple right here, just a little pullback. And that thing looks like it's going to get set up. Look how it's curled down. We have to just take a look at it. It could ride this 20 down and get curled up there. So we'll keep an eye on them. Make sure we know exactly when they want to get popping again. Doge has that same look as Ripple. Cardano's similar look right there. And good old Stellar right here, XLM, coming down to your 20 at the moment. Chainlink was up to like 21, 22. It's at 21.15, just a little healthy pullback there. And how about Optimism right here? And that's a little bit of pullback as well, cross through. So there you go. And I think ETF was at like 1.1. And I'll tell you which one is cruising. I've been watching this thing, and it's called Swift, SWIF. It's Swift wife hat or whatever, whiff hat, whatever they call it. That thing is cruising along, guys. I mean, this thing it went ballistic. It started out just the other day, and now it was just over 3 cents this morning. It ran up over a penny overnight. So that thing is cruising along, I must say. And had my eyes on that, I should have got into that one. And ETF is at 1.1, and it's still down there. And hopefully this is going to make that last base down here and see if it can get rolling, because if not, it could be in trouble. So there you go with ETF and the crypto's news right there and what's going on. And again, keep our eye on MSOS and the cannabis stocks right here. As you can see, they're up, but they're up on the news. And we had talked about this not long ago, that Trump was going to be doing something similar to this. And there you go. So I'd mentioned that before, MSOS, and now you got the news coming out that they may actually reschedule it from 1 to 3, which would be pretty big right there. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty good pre-market review, and it looks like we're just waiting until 8:30 in the morning right here for our CPI report, as you can see, and then Thursday's our PPI report. So that is what the market is doing, just kind of hanging out, waiting. It did say that the inflation report could be a little bit higher, and we'll see what's happening. And we had that 90-day extension on China, so we'll see what's happening here. And like I said, I think Trump threw that out there to try to hold the market while you might get not the great. The CPI could come in a little bit hot this month, and we'll see what's happening at 8:30. So there you go, everybody. If you have any questions, be sure to hit me up on X. I'll be sure to message you back. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Not a whole lot happening this morning, and that circle is way up there. So we did look at that last night and liked it. And I'll look and see what else is setting up, and also Intel. So we had a couple of nice ones right there, and we will keep an eye on things and see what's happening with our CPI report, because that's what it looks like the market is waiting for. So there you go, everybody. I would say be sure to trade smart, lock in your profits, and enjoy your day. Goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.